So I'm making this video for the business owners out there who are either just starting out on their press coverage strategy, they've just decided that it's something they want to do, it'd be good for their business, their credibility, their impact, their client base, and they're just starting to put their strategy together. Or for those people who have dabbled with having some press coverage and tried to get some but haven't had a load of luck. And what I want to tell you about is an easy way to work yourself up to the bigger players, really. There is a strategy behind it, and that's what I want to tell you about today. What I want you to think about is a triangle with 5 different levels in it. The bottom level being the place where it's easiest to get press coverage, and the tip of the triangle, the place where it's more difficult, and how we're going to work through that. So right at the bottom of this triangle, the place where it's not that hard to get some coverage, and that is through guest blogging. Now, if you think of some of the major websites out there like the Huffington Post, Mind Body Green, Elephant Journal, the Writing Cooperative, Medium, there's lots of them. They're all basically big blogging sites, and because they are so big, they're looking for content all the time to fill up all that space. Now, yes, they do want a lot of content, but they still want it to be good content, so you can't just throw anything at them. But if you've got a story to tell or some advice to give that you think could be really useful for people to hear, then these are a great place to start. And it's not that difficult. If you Google it, how to contribute to the Huffington Post or Mind Body Green, you'll find some guidelines. Just follow the guidelines and hopefully, fingers crossed, you'll get yourself in there. But there's also lots of specialist blogs. So if you're a dietitian or an hypnotherapist or a coach, there are lots of blogging sites that are just relative to what you do, and you could target those as well. So guest blogging is a huge opportunity for you. You just need to put a bit of work in to find out what's out there for you and which is the best ones to target. Now, the next stage up from guest blogging is to be a guest on podcasts or videos. So this is somebody else's podcast or somebody else's videos, and basically they will interview you around either what you do, or they want you to give some advice or do some training. It could be anything. But again, it's just another way of saying, I know what I'm doing, I'm credible, and you're building up. You've got the blogging at the bottom. Now you're building on another layer of video interviews and podcast interviews that you can add to that pot. Of course, once you start getting all this coverage, you can talk about it. You can spread it all over your social media, your LinkedIn. You could put it on your blogs, on your websites, everywhere really. It just says to people, this person's worth taking note of. She's starting to look like she's getting into places and it's worth having a listen. So blogging first, then podcasts and videos. Now the next one up, we jump quite quickly to magazines and newspapers, and that includes online magazines and newspapers, because even if you want to be in psychology, which as we know a lot of people do, you might not at first attempt get into their magazine, but you might get on their website. And of course, because you've done the groundwork of blogging and podcasting and videoing and doing all that guest stuff, you've now got a barrage of stuff that you can show the journalists when you contact them to go in their magazine or on their website or in their newspaper. And the more proof you've got, the better. And this is where they will start taking notice of you. So all those magazines that you want to be in are on this layer, sort of the third layer up. So once you've done your guest blogging and your guest podcasting, videoing, then it's time to contact what you'd call sort of pure press, the media, the magazines and the newspapers. Now as we get to the tip of this triangle, it gets tougher. The next slot up is radio. Now you can get on local radio without too much bother, and you could try that further down, perhaps when you're doing the guest blogging. Same with local newspapers, they're not as hard to get into, so you could put that a bit further down this triangle too. But if you want to get on radio shows that are like from the BBC or any of the bigger London radios, for instance, or the bigger local ones, that sounds weird, but you know what I mean, then this is where that sits. It's quite towards the top of the triangle. So again, do the rest first, try and get some evidence that you're good at all this stuff, and then go for the radios. And then you can probably guess what's on the top of this triangle, and that's TV. If you want to be on the BBC, on Newsnight, on any political shows, on any cookery shows, that if you're a cook or a chef, then this is the hardest to get into because the opportunities are smaller. You think, websites and newspapers are churning out content all the time, whereas the opportunities to be on TV are more limited. And I'm not saying they're not there. There is a great opportunity to be on the TV, but you just have to work a bit harder and you have to know a little bit more about what you're doing. So that's right at the tip of the triangle. One of the things I would say is before you start all of this contacting the press is to know a little bit about them. This is really key, and something I just want to mention now in case you're going to flash off to your office and give this a go, is that if you want to be in the press or on a website or on a TV show or a radio programme, you need to know a little bit about them so that when you contact them, you're knowledgeable about what they do and you can prove that in what you say to them, because they're going to want to know that you've invested time in knowing about them before you actually pitch to them. So that's just a little top tip. So I hope you found that video useful. If you've got any comments or questions, then please just comment below and I will get back to you. Or you can find me on all the social media platforms and at my own website, which the details of are below too. So if you like what you hear on these videos, don't forget to subscribe and also hit the notification bell so that you will be notified whenever I've got another video uploaded. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care everyone and stay safe.